Persperity Podcast. In the shadows we find our light. Through the struggles we'll take flight. Healing hearts and mending minds. Together we'll leave the past behind. Welcome to Persperity Podcast, where hope is found. Voices rising up, breaking new ground. With every story shared, we grow and learn. In this journey of healing, it's our turn. Mindful moments equal prosperous lives. Oh yeah, mindful moments equal prosperous lives. Trauma whispers, but love will shout. In this space of trust, there's no doubt. We'll explore the depths of pain and grace, finding strength in every embrace. Welcome to Persperity Podcast, where hope is found. Voices rising up, breaking new ground. With every story shared, we grow and learn. In this journey of healing, it's our turn. Mindful moments equal prosperous lives. Mindful moments equal prosperous lives. Take a breath and join the ride. Together we'll walk side by side with open hearts and open minds. In this podcast space, true peace we'll find. Welcome to Persperity Podcast, where hope is found. Voices rising up, breaking new ground. With every story shared, we grow and learn. In this journey of healing, it's our turn. Mindful moments equal prosperous lives. Mindful moments equal prosperous lives. Persperity Podcast, a safe space for people healing from trauma. Persperity Podcast, a safe space for people healing from trauma. Persperity Podcast, a safe space for people healing from trauma.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Persperity Podcast. Today, I'm tackling a topic that affects entire communities and echoes through generations. UnGUN, trauma generational curses. This conversation is a vital and vulnerable deep dive into the cycles of pain, how to break them, focusing on the intentional work required to dismantle inherited trauma and build a healthier future. I'm honored to welcome a voice of expertise and insight, the phenomenal Dr. Marty K. Get ready for a profound discussion that challenges, illuminates, and offers a clear path towards liberation. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this episode, and subscribe to my YouTube to help me spread the word of this message of healing. All right. Before we get into these questions, Dr. Casey, would you like to share anything? I know you have an event coming up, anything about business or anything you have going on?
Well, wow. Well, let's just jump right on into it. Why don't we? First of all, Destiny, let me say thank you so much for seeing me, for inviting me to come to be a part of such a great platform. You are amazing. I see you, sis, and you are doing big things. So continue. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here. To answer your questions, what are some of the things that I'm doing? I am doing a lot, but I don't know if I'm doing enough. And as long as I can say that I don't know if I'm doing enough, that means that I still have time to be here to do more.
That's good. Like that. Okay. Would you
So
like to?
we'll get into the specifics of what I have going on, but I do want to just say to you that that you people see me a lot of different places and they go, "Oh, I didn't know you was an actress. Oh my gosh, I had no idea that you do speaking engagements. You mean to tell me you run a center? Oh, you have a nonprofit and a business?" Yeah, I have several different ways of reaching our people because right now that is the job of all of us right now. It is to what can you do to not just help you, but help somebody around you. That's our job. That's everybody's job right now. Everyone's assignment. The government is shut down. What if the government never comes back into play again? What we gonna do? All we can do is depend upon ourselves and others.
Mhm.
And the government may be playing the part of the middleman. Because you think about that. We vote in certain people to be an advocate for us. And if those people right now are not at work, then who's advocating for us? Us is you and me. That's how you spell us, you and me.
Right.
It's how can you and I come together and work together to keep this going, because we still have to eat,
Mhm.
even though they're talking about shutting down, taking away food stamps and all of these different things. They threatening to I mean, so many different things they're talking about, just shutting down and not doing. We still have to eat. We still have to figure out how to survive. So the best way of doing that is figuring out how you and I,
Mhm.
like we're sitting here right now together, how can we come together and do what's needed to help ourselves and help those around us.
Yes. Yes. Beautifully said. I like that. I like that. So, for my explaining, are you born and raised in St. Louis?
I am. I'm glad you asked that. I just did an interview before coming here. I'll be on tonight on KMOV. They just interviewed me about what's going on with the government shutdown. And that's one of the things that I said. I said, I'm proud to say that I'm born and raised here in St. Louis, because I believe that's part of what we need to consider when we're looking for solutions. You need to have somebody who knows this city, who knows the temperament and the energy of how this city moves about. You need to have at least one person at the table that knows about that. We can't keep calling in somebody from the outside, coming inside of our house and telling us how to decorate. Now, I'll accept your opinion because you might be an expert, but you don't live here. So I live in this house. It still has to function in a
Mhm.
way that I'm comfortable, right? So no, I may not put my dishes in that cabinet that you told me to put it in, because I might be left-handed and I need to grab them from here. So it's okay for you to tell me the type of style of cabinet I might need for the type of dishes that I say that I use, but you don't get to tell me where to put it. And that's how we kind of need to look at our city. Sometimes we don't have enough of our own homegrown people sitting at the table to have an opportunity to speak up and speak out.
I agree. I'm from Wentzville, Missouri. Um,
Okay,
but,
that counts.
I would say, like, even though I'm from Wentzville, like, a part of my story is experiencing different things and being homeless in St. Louis and having to really just build myself up from 16 all the way until the age of 32. So it's just, glory be to God, just to be able to connect with somebody that is from St. Louis, because I've been following you for so long and
Mhm.
then been friends with you for a couple years, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. I follow everything like that you do, and I'll be like, oh, okay. She's
Wow.
just, it's very impactful, because a lot of times, like, people will go through things, and they go through things, or they want to help people or whatever it is, and they don't have a humbleness to them, and sometimes it's really difficult for people, and like, they'd be like, hey, I don't know if they're gonna receive me or whatever it may be, but I really appreciate how just approachable you are. So that's very big.
Wow. Well, thank you for that. I would just say, if there's a way to basically respond to that, is humble is being real. Humble is just never forgetting where you come from. Humble is identifying with all of the range of emotions that one has to experience in life. And if you can remember what that feels like when you see that on another individual, who are you to judge? No judgment, just love. Like even if I have never been homeless, I have totally been close to, I have lost my home. Now, the good news is that I was able to go from the home that I lost,
Mhm,
right? And had to surrender. I was
mhm,
able to then find another place with a roof over my head. But the reality of it is, the feeling is still, I went through that cycle of, oh my goodness, the one thing I thought that I owned or was going to own at some point, I got to walk away from right now. And
mhm,
I was a single mother at that time. How am I going to provide and take care of my child? How am I going to make sure that I have a roof over my head? Because if I don't, she won't. Right. So I still had some of those same worries. It may not have led me to a permanent place of not having a roof over my head, but I surely had those concerns. And with that being said, I can't help but worry about the unhoused, because I know what that feels like, to worry about where you gonna lay your head. I know what that feels like to be hungry and not know how you are even going to cook your next meal because your lights is off. I know what it feels like. See, y'all don't know that you said you 31, 32 years old. You don't know nothing about coming home and picking the phone up off the wall and there's no dial tone. See, y'all just used to those cell phones in your hand or what have you. But I know what it's like. You think you about to make a phone call and pick the phone up off the wall and get in, and there's no dial tone because the phone got cut off. And all you can think about how many friends are probably calling you and they getting that doo doo doo. Sorry, this phone has been disconnected. And then I know that trauma. I know it. So when you've lived through those types of traumas, you better be humble. You better be humble. Because if you've been through that before, you can actually go through that again. And even if it's not you, but it's somebody you love, you should still care enough to be humble. So I pray that if nothing else, even if I never see weight loss, I pray that I'm always humble. That's truly my prayer, that I'm always going to be humble and be grateful for the things that I have. And that's how I live my life. Like I really truly, if nothing else, I'm real big on be down to earth. Come on now. Who are you versus anybody else? You're not better than and they're not better than you. We all are human. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for that, because it's like, I mean, somebody could be watching and they're just like, I want, what if, can I reach out to her and something? She just gave y'all the invitation. Reach out and
Absolutely.
try her. You never know.
Absolutely, you can. Now, I stay pretty busy. May take a little moment for me to get back to you. Destiny will tell you. You may have to hunt me down 2-3 different ways, but I will definitely. I will make it my business to take time out, make time for you. You see me on the streets. I'm huggable, baby. I'm approachable, and I'm dependable, and I'm lovable. I'm all of those things, and so and I pray that I just say that whatever it is that you need and you expect of me, I ask that you lead with those same things. So you want respect, give that to me, and I'm gonna return it back to you.
Love that. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. I have a question here for you. The title of your episode is "UnGUN Trauma, Generational Curses." What is the core concept of UnGUN, and why did you choose that specific powerful imagery for your institute?
Thank you. It's a great question. Well, first of all, let me just say this: ungun in its simplest form is to release. It's release. I need you to release and let go of anything that is causing you inner turmoil, inner harm, that's killing you from the inside. I need you to ungun that. And it's a safe way to do that. And it's a necessary way um, for that to be done. So we take you through a process. We have a lot of tools and techniques, and um, I do a lot of speaking engagements and workshops, and I teach everywhere from schools to I'm in a foster care home right now, teaching and creating a program. I'm in jails, and yeah, I'm in businesses, you name it. Wherever there are people, wherever there are hurting people, because my philosophy is hurt people hurt people. You've heard that part, but what's on the other side of that? It was almost like we talking about a problem and there never was a solution. So I had to create that solution. So what I've coined is hurt people, and healed people heal people, right? So I'm in business to help people heal. That's what I do. That's what UnGUN does. That's what it stands for. And why did I create that? I had to create something that I needed, something that wasn't available to me. I knew that I was suffering from something. Wasn't calling it trauma back then. We didn't have a name for it. It's just almost like you need some act right. What's going on the inside of you that's causing you to just be all, and and you ever heard growing up, I'll say this, growing up, we would say, oh, she just got a bad attitude. We name bad attitude to everything.
Mm.
But why? is that a bad attitude? Why is one's attitude showing up like that? What's the root cause of that? And if someone just really took the time out to try to figure out what was causing me to anger so quickly, what was causing me to cry so often, what was causing me to disconnect and put a lot of space between me and other people, or what was causing me to be, neck rolling, head in your finger pointing, what caused me to show up like that? See, it's not that it's a bad attitude, but what it was some it was some emotional trauma that was swirling around on the inside of me, and I had no way of dealing with it. No one taught me how. No one taught me that, Marty, yeah, you saw your father abuse mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, abuse your mother almost every single day. You heard the arguments, you saw the fights, you knew the stories. And yeah, you were supposed to take all of that in, digest all of that, and it's swirling around, creating this big old pot of gumbo called trauma. And nobody taught you how to release it. So what happens, Destiny, when we eat something in life, too much of it, and it's no good for us, that it feels like we just poisoned our insides? And then what happens when the system refuses to take anymore? What happens? You start to regurgitate, or it may even come out of another end. But what is going to come out of your body uncontrollably?
Or show up as sickness.
So guess what else does that? So will trauma. So it's best to get out in front of it so that you can guide it out, and it's not harming you, and it's not harming the people around you. You're learning how to safely release it. And it's called UnGUN because we also at UnGUN Institute, I've coined a word. All of our language is protected through our system, but I'm going to share some of it tonight. But we call these trauma bullets because it's what it feels like. You've been in a drive-by shooting, and you've been hit by all these different trauma bullets, and you bleeding from the inside. And so in order to keep you alive and to keep you safe, we got to safely go in and help to remove those trauma bullets so you can now go on and live your best life. And the 4 components of UnGUN Institute it's done in this order, and that's give, Give. It's forgive. It's heal, Heal, and then live, Live. Give, forgive, heal, live. It has to be done in that order. It's just those 4 components. But until you activate the method of giving to release, right? What can you give? Because we need something to come up and out of you. So I need you to already be willing to give. And maybe that's giving somebody grace, giving yourself grace. Maybe it's giving somebody a hug, because see, you can't give a hug and not receive one. Come on now. So whatever it is, you need to activate that spirit of giving. It's allowing now for that release to be turned on. And now I need you to forgive, because forgiveness, it manifests in the mind. Whatever it is you still holding on to, it's in the mind. You remembering what somebody done did to you. I'm never gonna forget because you did this to me. It sits here. And the mind tells the body what to do. So if we try to activate the healing process, I have to now reset you mentally so that you now can tell your body there's room to start the healing process. Now, when you begin to heal, you're going to feel better, right? Only until you're willing to deal with what you feel will you heal. All those rhyming words. And from the healing, you now can live your best life. Not live the best life for your children, not live the best life for your husband or your mama, but live your best life, because it's you that's carrying the turmoil and the trauma and the hurt and the pain inside your own body. So when you heal self, you're the number one beneficiary for that. You get to feel better. You get to make space in your mind. You get to show up better. You get to say, I don't worry about that anymore. I know what my triggers are. I have my boundaries in place. I'm protecting my peace. You get to decide that and make those choices. I can't tell you. I can make suggestions all day long about what it is I think you should do. I can do that 24 hours a day, but at the end of the day, you got to make the choice. You got to make the choice. You get to decide. So if you get to decide how you're going to show up, I want you to also decide how you feel about it. Choose you. That's why it's a you. When you ask me why I'm so intentional about that, that you is you all day long. And inside of that you is A-R-T, art. Why art? Because art is the natural medicine that you was born with. God gave everybody a gift and a talent. Not the same one, but you have one. And that's your internal medicine that if you tap into it, every time you tap into your eternal medicine, it's healing some stuff from the inside. The things we can't go down in our throats and reach. That's how you get the medicine, by activating your own gifts and talents. Every time I sing, every time I speak, every time I help somebody, I'm taking medicine for me.
That's really good. That's good. That's good. I like that. I'm doing. I
It's the truth all day long. I was at, like I said, I teach a class, a 7-week program. I'm putting together, if you will, at a children's home, foster care. And today we worked on affirmations. I should have brought the sheets in here, but this one young man in particular, he said, Dr. Marty, I don't really have an affirmation, but I guess I have a statement that I want to make for myself moving forward. I said, okay, whatever you want to call it. You want to call it a positive statement, an affirmation, or whatever you want to call it. I just need you to remember something that connects you to your why, and knowing and putting you on the path of knowing how to stay positive on a day-to-day basis. I said, now my affirmation is that I will attract money so I can do good in the world. That's my affirmation. I speak over my life, over myself every day. I will attract money so I can do good in the world. And I make good on it every time a check come in the mail, every time anything drops into my hands, somebody gives me something, sends me a unexpected cash app or whatever. I make sure I share it with the world some sort of way. And in abundance, and it continues to make room for more. So I told him, I said, so tell me, what's yours? He says, I want to be a better parent to my children so that they won't grow up robbing people at the gas station to give their mom money. That was his statement today. He recognizes that he's been showing up very negatively in life, trying to survive this thing called life, and not realizing even the person that he probably loves the most, his mother, put him in an awkward and bad and negative situation. And no parent should ever do that to their children. He recognizing that now with where he's at. And by doing this positive affirmation, it made his mind start to think about what it is he needs to do differently. He automatically ungunned that trauma bullets of being put in a position to harm others, to get something to then give to his mother. And he knows all of the wrong that was attached to that. He says, and I don't want to I don't want to put my children in that position. He's don't have a child now. He's still a child, but he's already seeing the future, a better future for himself. Another young man said, I want to, how did he frame it? I want to be better today than the mistakes I made yesterday. I want to be better today than the mistakes I made yesterday. I said, wow. I said, that's wisdom. You know how many adults don't even have an affirmation like that, don't even live out loud like that, that they're still holding on to yesterday, or who said what about them, and how, and that took place, and I don't deal with her, and I don't deal with him, and this, that, and another. I said, you know how many adults haven't that go. You keep, and you better than that. So I told them, I said, you all are some of the best group of human beings walking this earth right now. And I'll tell you why. Because you've hit rock bottom at an early age, and you're already learning the tools and the techniques of how to be able to rise above that. And as you continue to grow and you get older and you go through more and more things in life, and if you can remember these things from bottom up, you can go all the way to the top. I was once a troubled child. I was suspended. I was expelled. I'm sorry. I wanted to make it sound a little light. Instead suspended. No, honey, I was expelled from high school for hitting a teacher. But what that teacher didn't realize, I was tired of seeing my father hit my mom. So when that teacher disrespected me, her trauma met my trauma. And I reacted in the wrong way. And it cost me. I got expelled. And had my mother not moved us from one part of town way across town to a whole nother part, and I'm talking about two different worlds, had she not done that, I wouldn't have never graduated on time. I'm now on the wall of the wall of fame at my high school. I am now, I've just been named one of top 50 women in the world for women in business. It's over 8 million people in the world, and I'm one of 50 top women in the world for business. A troubled teen, somebody who was fighting their way through everything, now teaching somebody else how to ungun, how to disarm trauma. How did I become an expert? Because I started at the bottom. See, when you get real down, when you get low on something, when you at the bottom of it, and you work your way up top, you know all of the elements, all the things from top to bottom and everything in between. That's what makes you an expert. So to anybody that's listening right now, accept your mistakes, embrace your mistakes, remember your mistakes. Just don't keep making the same one. Take those mistakes as being part of the ingredient, as whatever it is you need to build to be better. It's time to be better, not bitter. It's time to be better and not go backwards. It's in the movement. Don't just make mistakes and stay there. Keep moving. Take that knowledge and move with it. Go up.
So do you also help adults and older adults ungun as well as the young people? You work with everybody?
Absolutely. I work with every single person that has breath in their body, who's dealing with trauma. Trauma has no race, face, or place. There's no such thing as there is absolutely no such thing as an age limit on trauma, right? I'm gonna use right now. I've been seeing there's been an influx of car accidents like crazy in our city on the highways. People are driving fast. People People are you know, we used to worry about the drunk drivers. Now we got to worry about the drugged up drivers and the distracted drivers, right? It's so many different types of drivers that we have to worry about as what's causing us to car crash like that. And so I'm using that as an example. If a car just got hit that has a mother and a father and a grandmother and a couple of grandchildren in it, is that trauma just going to be for the kids? That trauma we got to deal with everybody in that car. It has impacted everyone. So trauma has no race, face, or place. So it cannot have an age limit. There may be different ways that I deliver certain things when I'm talking to children versus me talking to teenagers versus me talking to working adults versus me talking to seniors. But at the end of the day, these tools and techniques has to be available and readily able to help anybody.
That's good because like a lot of people when they start speaking or they're starting their organizations, they're directed more towards the youth. And a lot of older people, sometimes the seniors or millennials, Gen X, whatever, they feel like, okay, well, where's the resources for us? So I'm noticing that there's not a lot of resources where it's like a huge range from a child all the way to that senior. So I think that's really good. And do you travel outside of St. Louis if someone needs you to ungun in a different state, in a different city?
Absolutely. I just told you I'm a global
I know when you
a
say
global businesswoman. And so yeah, I'm everywhere. Out of the country. Last year I was in Japan, I was in Spain. This coming year I'm going to Ecuador. I forgot the other place they're sending me to. So yeah, I'm everywhere, wherever I need to be. And if I can't get there right now, I can do this on Zoom. That's the good news about, when the pandemic happened, one of the things that opened up was access, us able to still connect with people all over the world. And that is a beautiful thing. And that was also another thing I want to say to that, pertaining to our seniors. Our senior population, they're the most vulnerable, really, when it comes down to a lot of the traumas that take place, because they're not able to physically, emotionally, and financially just bounce back and do things for themselves. They need that extra assistance. So our UnGUN Center, we operate out of a senior building. Why? Because I don't want them to have to try to travel to get to me. I want to be in that building. All they got to do is come out their apartment and come downstairs, and we right there helping them make sure that they have the essentials and the food and the different things that they need. And then as far as the youth, I go to where the youth is, right? You say building, they'll come. So I go to where they are. I'm working in their schools. I'm in the, like I said, working at some of the, goodness, what did I just tell you? My mind is about to cut off here.
You're just talking about the different places that you go when you speak.
Yeah, but I was trying to say that I'm at a children's home. That's what I was trying to say. I'm at a children's home right now on Mondays, and so I work inside of jails. Right? They surely can't come to where I'm at. Not yet. They ain't got out, so I got to go to where they are. So I have clearance, and I go inside of jails, and I work with inmates. That I have an inmate he's coming out of jail this month. I think next week. The warden called for me to come to work with this gentleman because his out date was coming up in October. I think they sent for me in August. His out date was due in October, and he didn't want to get out of jail. He said, give his out date to somebody else. Why is that? Because he's been trapped and in the system since he was 16 years old, and he's almost 50. So that means he's been inside longer than he's been outside. So his family, what he knows, where he's comfortable, even though you and I looking at it like, oh, you don't want to come out of jail. Why don't you? That's how we see it. But in terms of his level of comfort, that's what he knows. See, if a fish only knows how to swim, It only knows water.
True.
You telling the fish, but I want to put you in a penthouse. You're gonna have carpet and a ceiling fan, and we're gonna give you all the food that you want. And it's trying to figure out, but how am I gonna still be a fish? I'm used to this water. It can't even imagine another type of life. And so it's that way sometimes when it comes to humans. So I really literally had to go and paint an emotional picture for him of him being able to see himself start fresh on the outside, getting to know the new him and what that could look like and what he would need to have access to, and all those people and places and things that he could tap into to make sure that he would be successful on the outside. Because if you could do it here, where there's been constraints and people telling you when and how and what to do, you now have the freedom to make those decisions for yourself. And if it's some things you can't figure out, there's people you can ask their opinion on. But you get to make the choice, the personal choice for yourself. And freedom, it is something like you've never tasted before. I can't even describe it. You have to come on the outside so you can taste it for yourself. So he's getting out next week. And is it going to be easy for him? No. Is it going to be scary? Most times it will be. But there's some things that he's going to experience on the outside that he never would have been able to imagine had he still been locked up, and choosing to be locked up because that was all that he knew. We have to expose him to something new.
What would you say to the people? Thank you for answering that. Like, what would you say to the people that have gone through, trauma, but they're wanting to allow God to use them? What would they start? Or like, how would you encourage them?
So there's a couple of things I want to say. The first thing I want to say, I applaud anybody who is willing to push past their own pain and tap in on purpose to say, hey, I know I've been through this, but I want to help somebody else so they may not have to go through all the aspects and elements of what I've been through. And that's noble and that's great. And I applaud that. But I also have to say to you, take your time. Don't rush into doing that because you see so many people doing that. Take your time so you can heal, because trauma is transferable and so is healing. If you are not yet healed, even though you're building something, you're also building that from a place of an unhealed mental and physical and spiritual being. Really use that time to work on self. Get your strength back up. Get to the place where your mind is strong and can withstand the stories of even being around other people who have been through that exact same trauma. You don't want to re-injure yourself if you're not ready to really hear some of those same things and what it is that they've been through or were going through. And it's similar to what you've been through. You're not healed yet, and they can reel you back in. So I want you to kind of be careful with that. The other thing that I want to say is that now I'm not trying to stop anybody from because it's not my place to make that judgment, but I just want to at least put information out here. We have in St. Louis, we have over 22,000 nonprofits. 22,000 nonprofits. I don't know how many millionaires we have. I think I just heard on television somebody was talking about Atlanta, and I think they said Atlanta has over like 100 million millionaires. We don't have 100 million millionaires in St. Louis. So I'm saying that to say, when you think about a nonprofit, that means there has to be people that's willing to give, people willing to sow a seed and help, to keep that nonprofit rolling. And if everybody's pulling on the same person, Dave Stewart is a billionaire. Dave Stewart owns worldwide technology here. But if all of us call Dave Stewart, Dave wouldn't even be no billionaire anymore. We'd be done made Dave a millionaire overnight because we are asking him to help financially support what we're doing. So we need to kind of be cautious of everybody wanting to do the same things. That whole the show me state. I love my city. I love my city so much. I have a necklace that has been made. If you can see that, and that is the city of St.
The
Louis.
downtown. Yep.
Okay, I love my city, but this is where I got to be real about it. We have a show me state mentality. It's like, show me what you doing because I can do it better. We have a competitive spirit that's built into us. We see somebody else doing it, we want to do what they do. I see your podcast with your cute symbol up here, her little red lips sitting on books, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that same thing. I'm gonna get me a little animated thing too, and I ain't gonna sit mine on books. I'm gonna sit mine on some on a stool. But the bottom line is, I see what you have, and all of a sudden, I connect my creativity to what you've already created. And because it's not so much that I want to outdo you, but because I see what you've done, I feel like I can do it too. And we jump in. We just jump right on in. We haven't done any homework. We just get in there. And now I done messed it up for you. I done messed it up for me. Now you can't get any money. I can't get any money because we both look like we doing the same things. So how about, if I really like what you're doing, how about I call you up and say, Destiny, man, I love when I was on your podcast, and I love, and rather me to start my own podcast, which I don't have time to do. Which honestly, I want to just say this: I have been talking about starting a podcast, but the more I think about it, I'm like, Marty, you don't have time for that. But what if I said, Destiny? But how about if I came on your podcast at least once a month and we have a little Dr. Marty segment so we can help people, right? How do we figure out how we can team up, sis, and we work this thing together, versus it feeling like, because I see you do it, the show me state. You showed me, and now I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you up. I'm going to show out. And I'm going to just, and I think that's how we hurt each other sometimes, unintentionally. It's not always an intentional thing. But if there's anything I can really offer our people, be inspired by somebody, but quit trying to inquire what that other person is doing so much to the point that you want to emulate it. Tap into your own gifts and talents. Do that.
I like that. Like that's the real that people need. Like for real. Like pray, talk to God, figure out what is needed to be done, and
What do I
don't
need to do?
emulate.
Yeah, what do I need to do? I've always been big on that. I guess that's the artistry in me. I have never wanted to be like anybody else. I've never wanted to. And not that I can't see what somebody else is doing is great, but that's great for them. Like I really want to be different. I mean, if everybody going over to that party, I don't want to be where everybody's at. I don't want to do what everybody's doing. I need to be a little bit different. And I push our young people to think like that. Like, that's great. I want you to notice what's going on around you and what everybody else is doing. That's wonderful. But how can you stand out and be a little bit different?
Wow. I like that. Because everybody has a lane and everybody has a calling, and God wants to use everybody in a different way. And sometimes I've definitely seen that happen where people will do something and then they'll just like, I think I could do it better. And it goes horrible for them because they're not healed. They're not open to healing. And they realize that a part of a lot of things happen, like that people go through. They think once they heal from one thing, that's it. No, it's a domino effect. Sometimes you heal from the one thing and then you learn there's something else you need to heal from.
That's right.
I say healing, like it takes a lifetime. As long as you're going through the trauma, is about the percentage of time it's going to take to actually process that. Hey, like I'm not in trauma. Like the body, the mind may heal, but the body is still in shock. It's kind of like when they say like somebody gets shot and they don't know. Like sometimes they be like, oh, I didn't know I was shot, and then next thing you know, they see it and they start freaking out. Like, your mind ain't caught up to what's going on yet, or your mind is healed and your body is still feeling anxious when you're around people, or you don't know
Mhm.
how to communicate with people,
Yeah.
and that's huge.
The mind, body, and spirit, I call that your inner team. If you can imagine like three different little people on the inside of you, and every day they sit down and they talk and they having a little team meeting on how what they gonna do, what we gonna eat, where we gonna go, who we gonna hang out with. And there's a lot of times in those meetings they arguing, they can't figure it out. And that's that inner turmoil that you feeling and you dealing with. It's like, what's going on? Because your inner team is not on one accord. And so when you feel all of that chaos and that argument and that that disagreement happening, that's when you need to just stop, breathe, and think. Be still. Give them time to settle down so they can get on one accord on the inside to protect you, to protect the wholeness of who you are. Right? So just kind of visualize that you got three little people that they're having a team meeting, and when they start arguing, it's like, well, oh Lord, I want to do this, but I'm feeling, I'm nervous about it. Well, they in there moving furniture around, they in there fighting, they in there having they having a fist fight, and it's like you need to just be still, just shut it all down. Don't do anything. Stop, breathe, and think. Give them time to settle down so again, they can keep the wholeness of who you are safe.
That's beautifully said. Because I what I've seen a lot of people, like even with this podcast, and God telling me this is a, I'm like, there's no space for people to share their, from an online perspective or just in general to share the things they've gone through. To, instead of going on Facebook, like the right now it's a trend about the lady in a wedding dress, and that is so sad. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I, I've seen somebody say something about it, but I didn't know what they were talking about. So what? Because I saw somebody say something like, "I just want to go to, I guess, wherever she is and give her a hug or something." So what happened?
So basically, he cheated on her husband that got married and everything, I believe, not too long ago, and he had cheated on her, and called DFS, got her kids taken away from her, and she's just been online, really, just like crying, drinking, expressing her feelings, going on live, and I'm like, there is a time and a place to actually express yourself, but in that instance, it's like she is crying out for help,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, people tell you social media is not it, Facebook's not it, it's that's not the space, and it wasn't created for, to be that. But
Mhm.
I just think of people felt that they had that space just to come. Let's talk about that. Why do you, feel what you feel? You want me just to listen? Let's listen. Let's talk about those things. Let's get in the comments. But it's very sad. It is, because it's like it's a trend too on TikTok where these kids are. It's a trend to write threatening suicide letter that you're ready to just be done with life. It's a TikTok trend. It's crazy. And it's like things have to
It's
change.
attention. We have created a space, used to be the roots of the love of money is the root of all evil. It's the love of attention now. Everybody is fiending, needing, wanting, thriving off of attention. That's why they keep their phones in their hands. That's why they stay connected on all of these different social media sites just to see what's going on and who knows what I'm doing and da 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 da. And it's the attention that they're feeding off of. They're feeding more off of attention than they're probably eating meals. They're feeding more off of the attention in such a way that they don't even know where the boundaries are in terms of what is okay and what isn't okay, because just the fact that we even call being connected to people on social media, we go, we're friends on that. I've never seen you a day in my life, how are we friends? Like how I that like we are we're confusing this next generation with where the boundaries really are. We spend so much time trying to teach and tell our kids and young people, no, that's not your friend, that's your associate, no, that's your co-worker, no, that's your neighbor. And with all of these titles and identities. But then we build something like a social media platform and it's like, we friends. And with the word friend, we believe See, the mind doesn't know the difference that we're saying we're friends and it's looking at just social media. The mind just hearing friends and it's now pulling what how we associate what we call friends and what that means. That means I trust you. That means you're somebody I can talk to. That means you're somebody I can ask a favor for. And if we're saying that social media isn't the space for that, then we definitely need to retitle the people we connected with. Then who are they? They because they're not friends. And then even when you say followers, look how far apart that is from a friend to a follower.
Sure.
Because I ain't never seen nobody following me, and I thought that was a good idea. Somebody following you, you look at what you looking at?
Right.
So you got people just looking at you and not even saying nothing, but they following you. That ain't never been no comfortable thing. So friends and followers in the perspective of this social media phenomenon, it's all off balance with how it's showing up on us mentally. Because what we say friends is somebody I should be able to trust. Somebody following me is somebody I should be looking out for. Like, what you doing? Why you watching my every move? Why you following me? Why you following me? Like, that's what, right? So I think we almost need to rename those spaces. Just a thought, just a thought, because I'm looking at how again it lands on us. And when you lose, oh, come on now, let's talk about the losses. So I unfollowed you.
That part.
We ain't friends no more. I blocked you. So we breaking up with folks we don't know nothing about on social media, and we taking that thing to heart. And we looking at every time we post something, and then we go back. Oh, let me see how many people liked it. That's really how we want children to grow up, to feel like you need validation for every time you say and do something. And if you don't have enough validation, that means you said something stupid. That means you said something you probably shouldn't have said. You probably need to take that down, because ain't nobody liking that.
Yeah.
So now we got them questioning, are they valuable enough? So if this is where all of that is happening, it makes sense to me that if you're going to commit suicide, you're going to commit it in the place that has caused you the most harm. Social media is the place where they probably have experienced the most harm. So that's where I'm going to go back and write my letter and let all you followers and friends and folks that unfollow me, folks that don't like me, didn't say this, didn't say that, didn't comment, didn't share. I'm going to tell you, I'm about to off myself. It's not really as off in terms of why they're choosing social media as you think it is, because that's the place where they live. So if this is the place where I live for social media, I live for these likes, I live for these followers and these friends, then this is the place where I will go back and tell you I no longer want to live. The only people that seems like, ooh, that's not right. There are people that don't live their life on those platforms, who have life outside of that. To us, that sounds real strange. Like that's where you will go and ask for help.
I actually, when I see people dealing with stuff, I cover it in prayer if I don't know them, or else I'm glad to reach out. I reach out. But I've asked people to be on a podcast. I've seen like just the behavior online. I'm like, I don't really know you, but at the same time, hey, would you like to be a guest? And they come on, and it's an amazing experience. And they're
Yeah.
able to go back and watch their episodes and see themselves, and they're doing great. They're better at looking, the way they look at life, their mental health, and just feeling like I have a voice, like someone saw me, but also at the same time, I can be able to express, this is where I've come from. These are the things I really want to work on and be better in. Because the reality is, people really want to be seen. It's seen in the fact of,
It's the attention.
I, yeah, it's like, I really want to know that if something does happen to me, someone cares.
That I matter, right? That I matter. We said Black Lives Matter, but then we didn't change how they mattered. We just said something, but we still didn't necessarily embrace each other more, or check in on each other more, or help each other more. And so really, the if we want to see certain things change, we have to start with how we show up, right? What is it that we do? Like, I can sit back all day long and say, oh my goodness, UnGUN Institute is about disarming trauma, to keep the violence down. But if I'm not really doing anything on the solution side to help to disarm that trauma and to bring the violence down, I'm just saying something. It sounds good. But no, we got to do something. So you can ask me, what does it mean? I can tell you what it means, but then I can also tell you what I do. And if you talking to anybody that owns a company, and like, if we talking to Nike, what does Nike mean? Well, that's the name of our tennis shoe and our brand, and we believe Nike stands for blah 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 blah. It's an athletic shoe that we believe is high performance or whatever. Oh, okay. And how do you do that?
Right.
Well, we test our shoes out on all the top athletes or what have you, and we make sure that it's up to par in terms of the speed and the stamina and and it's okay. It's proof in the pudding. So test that out with all of these other organizations and these companies that say who they are. Then I want you to, the next question would tell me what you do. And if they stumbling on what they do, then to me, this is just another opportunity for people to be out here like sound bites. We got a lot of people chasing the bag, collecting the check, and saying they doing this, because you can make anything look good on paper and go for a grant and get some money. And next thing you know, we find out you done bought a house and 3 cars and sent your kids to Disney World and everything else, but you ain't fed them homeless people yet. You ain't you ain't did nothing pertaining to the domestic violence center that you said you was going to build. That ain't happened yet. You So what we have to really start paying attention to how people are showing up, and we need to hold them accountable. You can find UnGUN Institute and Dr. Marty outside every single day. You can find me outside doing something. I promise you can.
I love that. Soon that I do have a question. I have like 3 more questions, and I know I've had you for an hour, and I know I'm taking up your time, but I got 3 questions.
Sure.
You've leveraged your gifts to create impact. What advice do you have for a listener who wants to combine their passion with their compassion, but doesn't know where to start? Just in general, not even with trauma, like if they're just ambitious.
How to combine your passion? Well, I'm gonna put it to you like this, and hopefully I will answer what you've asked. There's position, there's passion, and there's purpose. A position is simply a job. And so many of us feel like we grow up, we turn 16, and first thing we know, I need to get a job. Everybody's looking for some type of position that they can get so they can get a paycheck. And a lot of times those positions that we accept and we take, they're not fulfilling. It's just allowing us to have a paycheck so we can cover and take care of ourselves and our day-to-day needs. And as you're sitting on that job every single day, you probably battling with, I'm unhappy and I need to do something different. And then you start tapping into passion. And passion allows you to do the things you love. I mean, you so excited every time you do that one thing, whatever that is. For me, it was singing. Every time I get an opportunity to take the mic and stand on stage and sing and perform or what have you, I loved it. But it wasn't paying me like that position. And I found myself going back and forth like, man, I want to continue to do this, chase that dream, but it's not paying me like a position would pay me. And it was only until I tapped into purpose. And passion and position lives inside of purpose. Because see, what God promises that your gifts will make room for you. Your gifts is what you're passionate about. The room that it needs to make is I needed to make room enough to where I can take care of myself. That's the room it makes for you, but only through purpose. Purpose is not pleasing to God. Purpose is where you get that pat on the back and say, hey, job well done. And when I was able to tap into my purpose, my pay been enough, my passion has been fulfilled, and I can wake up every day with a smile on my face and enjoy what it is I do because I'm doing exactly what I was created to do. So that takes time. Doesn't happen overnight for everybody. Michael Jackson, it did, right? Michael Jackson was born into his purpose, and his dad made sure he was passionate about it. And he gave him a position before he was already part of the Jackson 5 before he could even count good. But now that doesn't happen for everybody. So give yourself some time and some grace. But really be seeking that. Really be praying about that. And ask God to Lord, line me up with my purpose so that my position and my passion will already have a place. And everything else, it'll fall into place. I promise you.
Wisdom. I was so drawn in that I was like, you ever watching TV and then you end up just get so drawn in that you don't even look at anything that's going on. I was like really drawn in. I was like, oh, this is good. This is really good. Because I'm just like you speaking to me because I have a desire to just do different things, but also it's just like gosh, just like look, I didn't bring you through all those things just for you just to work for somebody your whole entire life. I get out there. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, and I do this. This is out of obedience. The podcast is out of the obedience of what God said.
Yeah.
And I'm glory be to God. I've been doing this every Monday since last year in November. Every single Monday. And it's like sometimes I'm like, God, okay. Oh, is this still what you want me to do? And he's just like, don't question me in a sense. Like,
yeah,
do this.
You have no idea what it's leading to, right? But I want you to just trust the process. That's another P. And that's part of the purpose of getting to that purpose, arriving there. You got to trust the process.
That's good.
Yeah. So position, passion, trust in the process to get you to the purpose.
Position, passion, and trust in the process. Look, like next to last question. What are you currently focused on building or creating next in your body of work? I know you have a show coming up and everything. Was it next week or the week after next week?
Saturday. And in a few days. In a few days, I will be in Baltimore performing at the I will be at the oh goodness. Made me forget.
I know I caught you off guard. I'm sorry.
No. You're fine. I'm gonna pull it up because there's some information I do want to share about it. Let me find it.
If you text it to me, I'll put it up on the screen.
Oh, wonderful. How about that? Let's do that. Let me hurry up and find it. See, that's a doggone shame when you have so much stuff in your phone.
You're okay. In the meantime, everybody, if you're watching, please go like and subscribe to Persperity Podcast. And that is Persperity podcast, spelled Podcast. On YouTube, you'll see the brain, the books, or whatever, and just hit that subscribe button so you'll always know what's going on and who's a guest, who's going to be a guest on the podcast. And I hope you're enjoying this episode. But hit that thumbs up as well and share the episode.
I hope they're enjoying it as well.
Yes.
Okay, I found it, but let me see.
Then I'll pop that right up here.
First, this will help me there. Hold on, Destiny.
Oh, it's okay. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. And
I'm gonna come back to that question because we will show this and then we'll answer that. Well, here now I'm sending it now. Let me see.
Okay.
It's actually like a little video. That'd be fun to throw up.
Okay.
I heard that ding.
Get this up here. Okay. Let me share my my screen, you all. 1 second.
My hat goes off to anyone who just can work technology in the manner that you can. That's not my strong suit, but I embrace who I am and what I am and what I do well. So kudos to you. I can give you your flowers and applaud you on what you do well and where your gifts lie. I can see you in that, but I can also say that I am happy with the gifts that I have been given. So kudos to you, Destiny.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm beyond, like, part of my I am working on getting my degree in cyber psychology, which is cybersecurity from a psychological perspective, the intersectionality between people and online, interaction.
Yeah.
So I'm, just I love technology. I love learning it from a standpoint of people, of just like people in their online behaviors and why they do what they do, but just helping them understand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it's needed. Let me just say that it's needed. One of the things I want to do, I want to,
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. We'll get back to it. Go ahead.
So, I am having some slight technical difficulties, everybody.
Oh,
we are you can share what you're sharing, but I'm gonna upload it from my phone. But you can continue.
Okay. So one of the things that I shared is that UnGUN Institute, we started a free store, which is a pantry where we give out free essentials on Tuesdays and free groceries on Thursdays. And it's located at 5554 Wells Avenue, 63112. We are located inside of the Friendly Village Senior Center. And I'm very happy for that work because it started the day after the tornado hit in our city. And we have continued to service and to show up for the community and what we call building a community share. And a community share means that you're giving, you're serving, or you're receiving. It doesn't matter where you're standing in that circle in that moment, whatever the needs may be, but it's about being a part of that community share. And I just really want to shout out right now. I want to shout out Bobby Sweet and John HK Sweet, because they saw the work that we were doing with UnGUN Institute, and they actually gave a grant to UnGUN to continue to do this work for the rest of the year. And I'm very excited about that the gift that they gave really has helped to keep the center running. And I think it is important that when certain foundations take the time out to see your work and to choose you out of all of the different foundations that they could be choosing out of the 22,000 that's in the city, that you happen to be one of them. I want to shout them out. So to William A. Kerr Foundation, I want to just publicly say thank you for the grant and the opportunity to partner with you to continue to serve, along with Operation Food Search and Friendly Village Senior Center.
Nice. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm listening to you.
No, I
That
understand.
is a
I
lot
just
of great. I
Yeah,
love this.
it's important to do. It's important to do because people don't have to choose you, right? They don't. I don't care how good your product is. I don't care how amazing you think you're doing. At the end of the day, everybody needs support. And so when you do have that support, it's very important for you to make sure that they know you appreciate it.
Wow. Beautifully said. Thank you. Right now the video is uploading, but yes, like I love that you have a lot of different resources, opportunities, collaborations, and you stay active within the community and all over the world.
Mhm.
And like people, I don't want everybody to think like, hey, I'm in Kansas City or I'm wherever I am and I may not, need those resources. I mean, stop in if you want for someone, if you feel led to donate, be a blessing to somebody. You just never know.
That's right. It really does matter, and
Ladies,
every little bit
it's not
helps.
just
Thank you for that.
Sorry. It uploaded and played on its own, so I apologize. Okay, but yeah, so before we start the video, did you want to continue on what you were saying? I'm
No,
sorry.
you're fine.
Okay. All right. Let me play this video.
ladies, it's not just a show. This is gonna be a movement. Join Four Sisters Live for It's Not a Man's World. It's a one-woman stage play starring the incredible Dr. Marty K. Casey, and it's all happening Saturday, October 25th, 2025, at the Harriet Tubman Cultural Center in
Like it's still
Columbia,
just
Maryland.
circling.
Reception to be held at 4 p.m., showtimes at 5. Seats are limited, so grab your tickets now at eventbrite.com
Are you seeing the
or
video play on your end? 'Cause on this end, it's just
sistersforsistersnetwork with our
Nope, we
special
don't see
guest
it on the screen.
moderator, Fox 5 DC anchor Marissa.
I'm so sorry. Oh, can you all not see this video? See the video at all?
Nope, we don't see it. That's what I thought. I probably needed to say something.
So sorry, y'all. I thought I'm looking at the video and I thought it was on here.
No, it's
Okay.
just circling on our end.
Okay, let me restart it over.
Lady,
How's that? Can you hear it?
it's not just a
Nope.
show. Ladies, it's not just a show. This is gonna be a movie.
I'm gonna get this together before
No problem.
we. All right.
And you can always upload it later. They can see about it. But it's
Lady.
at the Harriet Tubman Center in Baltimore, Maryland. And so anyone this Saturday that's out in that area, I highly recommend that you come out or you tell somebody that's in the area, the DMV area, DC, Maryland, or Virginia. Tell them to get there. This is a truly anointed show that I've been playing since 2018. It's about my life, my family's life, and how we have disarmed trauma, and now we operate from a place of healing and living our best lives. And but it wasn't easy, and there was to overcome.
Okay.
And I play.
And if you
It's
in
a one
Baltimore,
woman show. Let me say that. And so I play 7 different characters.
I did see that you over the past couple years, you share a lot of the stuff you did. I think it was an opportunity you did in New
Yeah.
York when you did a one woman show.
Yeah, I
and
performed for the
Pacific.
United Nations. That was just in March.
It was one where you were playing it was a guy in a suit, an old lady, and like I don't know that your range of just being able to switch. I'm just like your creativity, despite the things you've gone through, it really it shows, despite the fact that like anything you've gone through. I always love the fact that people that have gone through a lot of things, they are the most creative people. They
It
really
comes
are.
from resilience. I think creativity is built off of resilience. And so, there's so many different things that we could complain about. And you can say, I've been through so much, I've been through so much. But I want you to know that you probably are one of the most creative people in the world if you just tap into it. That's why again, you gotta reach for that medicine that's on the inside of you.
I love that. I love that. Okay. I have one last
I'm here
question.
for one last answer.
Finally, if you could send one message to the ancestors,
Mhm.
the generation that carried the trauma about the work you are doing today, what would you say?
Mm. Well, I think I send that message every time I step on the stage to play my one woman show, which is entitled "It's Not a Man's World." So I think the one message that I would send back is to my great great grandmother Mitty, to my great grandmother Nanny Perline Hadley, to my grandmother Mama Gloria Webster, who have gone on before me, my mother who is still living, to myself, and to my daughter Morgan Casey, and now my grandson Mason. It's a long line of women. And then I have my grandson. It's not a man's world, but it is definitely necessary for us to keep a good man in the village so Mason will understand who he is and why he is and who he can become. As a woman, I can love my grandson like nobody can love a child, but I cannot teach my grandson how to become a man because I'm not a man and I've never been one. It's important for me to keep a good man in his eyesight so he knows who he is and why he is. So the message of is not a man's world. The message is simple. Women, if you choose not to have a man in your life, or you choose not to have a man in your home, at least keep one good man in the village if you have a male child. That's the message. And so, what I would say to my great grandparents, great great grandmother, and grandmother, thank you. Thank you for being the best mentors and women, Black women, lovable women, teachable women, responsible women. Thank you for being that in my life because I am everything you've already been.
Beautifully said. Wow. Wow. Whew. Beautifully said.
Thank
Before we wrap up, is there anything that you want to share that I didn't ask, or anything you want to shout out beforehand? I do want to put your cash app out here.
thank you.
Um,
It's just simply my name. It's $ Marty MartyK Casey. The only thing that I think I would want to say, Destiny, I think we've pretty much touched on everything. We've had a very nice casual couch conversation. But I want to just say to anybody is that there's a lot that's changing around us right now. Every single moment, we're facing some things that's uncertain. And it's okay to not be okay. But I want you to know it's not okay to feel like you can handle it alone. Reach out. Reach out to me. Reach out to UnGUN Institute. Reach out to 211. Reach out to 911. Reach out to 988. Reach out to whomever you need to reach out to get yourself some help. This is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And I specifically want to leave a message for women, and not that women are the only ones who deal with domestic violence. We're finding that there are a lot of men who are closetly, quietly being physically harmed, also taken advantage of. But I want to specifically, because the numbers are so much higher with women in dealing with domestic violence, I want you to know, sis, You got this. Everything that's already in you is enough for you to be able to survive. You wasn't born being married to that man or dating that man that does not value you. You wasn't born with him on your side. And so therefore you don't have to live with him on your side if he's not taking care of you and treating you right, treating you with love and respect and honor of what you deserve. It's easier said than done to say get out. Because a lot of times people looking at it, what you're dealing with right now, well, if I get out of this, where am I going to go? And who's going to help me? The only thing that I want to leave you with right now is that if you don't get out right now, you won't need any help because you won't even be here. People are not playing. And people that are really hurt, they're not just hurting, they are killing. And if you care enough about yourself and your life and your children's life, I want you to get out now. Don't worry about how. Just worry about the fact that it's necessary for you to leave. I'm Dr. Marty K. Casey with UnGUN Institute. And I just want to say, Destiny, it's been more than an honor and a pleasure to be here with you tonight and with your audience. And I hope that I've said something to help somebody somewhere. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. What a necessarily and deeply moving conversation on the mechanics of healing, the power of breaking generational chains. My heartfelt thanks is to the brilliant Dr. Marty Casey for guiding us through a process of UnGUN, trauma, and generational curses. I hope that this discussion provides not just an insight, but a concrete hope for the deliberate work ahead. If this episode resonated with you, the kindest thing you can do is help us carry this message of healing forward. Please like and subscribe to the podcast and go subscribe to UnGUN, donate to UnGUN, go to St. Louis and check out the UnGUN Institute, reach out to Dr. Marty Casey, and just, take the time to share this episode with someone who is doing the courageous work of undoing inherited pain. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, thank you again, Dr. Marty Casey. And remember, mindful moments equal prosperous lives. Thank you.
Thank you.
In the shadows we find our light. Through the struggles we'll
Thank you, everybody.
healing hearts and mending minds. Together we'll leave the past behind. Welcome to Persperity Podcast.
See you next week.